Gage Bramar here, crushbackpain.com. Today I'm going to show you one of the best exercises to do if you found an impairment with your static trunk extensor test. So that was the test that we covered in a previous video where you're extended off the edge of a table or a treatment table, a bed if it's firm, and you test your hold time. So for females, healthy female normal time is 189 seconds. For healthy male, hold time is 146 seconds. So if you were under those times, then you know that you have some impairments with your trunk extensors. One of the best exercises to train the trunk extensors is the bird dog. It's a really simple drill. You've probably heard of it before. You may have even done it before. It doesn't require any equipment, but it really works those trunk extensors and it puts minimal stress and strain through the lumbar spine. And that's why it's such a good exercise to address extensor weakness, extensor endurance impairments, because you have minimal load through the lumbar spine. So with the bird dog, it's a really simple drill. The key with it is to be precise and to do it right. So you get in that all fours position and you figure out where your back feels the best. So you kind of hunch up and down, figure out where your lower back, where your spine's the most comfortable. I like that nice lordosis in my back. So my back feels good there. And then the bird, and then you kind of tuck your chin, and then the bird dog is just literally opposite arm and leg. What you want to think about is keeping this area as stable as you can and moving through the hips and the shoulder. So you don't want this, you don't want this, you don't want to round out or arch. When you come up, you want to just stay nice and stable, and it looks just like this. Just nice and controlled. And what I would recommend starting with are what I call sets of 6-4-2. So you would do 6 controlled reps. See, I did 6, I only did 2. Let's say I did 6. Then you kind of regroup, and then you do 4 reps. And then you kind of regroup, and then you wrap up with 2 reps. So you get 12 reps total on each side. That's where I would start. Now you can progress that to 8-6-4. So you're doing, more repetitions. The other thing you can do is you can progress to where you're holding for 2 or 3 breaths in that up position. You can progress to where you're drawing circles or squares. So, and you can progress to where when you come back down, you don't touch. You just stay like this. So you could come out, take 2 or 3 breaths, and then come back and do another rep. You could come out and you could draw squares. You could draw circles. It's harder than it looks. The point is getting those trunk extensors to work while the lumbar spine is stable, because that's how they function in everyday tasks, in higher level activities. So that's the best exercise to start with. Now there's a lot of other things you can do after you get that dialed in, but that's where you want to start, because it's going to work the muscles effectively, efficiently, and it's going to put minimal load through the lumbar spine. So start with the bird dog if you had an impairment with the trunk extensor endurance test. Today we're going to discuss how to address any impairments that you may have found with the side bridge endurance test. So that's the test where you were doing the side bridge. If you're a male, you should be in the mid-90s seconds, and if you're a female, mid-70s seconds on either side. There's a greater than 5%, 0.05 difference between the left and right sides. We know that's an imbalance also. So the nice thing about the side bridge endurance test is the exercise for is basically the same thing as the test. So you can start out in that sideline position, and you can just do what we call a side bridge, where you're just up and down, knees are bent, and as you come up, you're also extending the hips. So you're basically coming up and forward. So you can start there. Sets and reps, I'd start with 6, where you do 6 reps, and then you regroup, rest for however long you feel, and then 4 reps, and then regroup, rest for however long you feel, and then 2 reps, so it's 12 reps total. Then you would go to the other side. Now the progression would be more like the test, where the top leg's over the bottom leg, and again you're coming up and back down, And then the progression from there would be the top leg on the bottom leg instead of over the top. And again, you're coming up, and you'll feel that one quite a bit. And again, 6-4-2 reps. You can progress to where you're doing 8-6-4, which is going to be a little more volume. The other way you can progress it is with holds in the up position, 2 or 3 breaths. You know, that just look something like this, where you're just coming up, taking 2 or 3 deep breaths and back down. You can even come up and hold for 10, 15, even 20 seconds and then back down. But you don't want to hold till failure when you start to have to compensate. You want to figure out where that is and then make your holds less than that number. But those are just some different ideas of how you can progress that exercise. Again, that's where you're going to want to start if you found some impairments with the side bridge endurance test. Now, down the road, there's other ways that we can address those muscle impairments, but that's where you want to start because it puts minimal force through the lumbar spine, minimal load, and it activates the muscles properly. Today we're going to discuss how to address trunk flexor endurance impairments. So you remember, if you did the test here where you're testing your trunk flexor endurance like we discussed in the previous video, and you noted that your hold time was less than it should be. For men, 144 seconds. For women, 149 seconds. Again, those are healthy adults. It's unlikely you're going to have that sort of hold time because you have a history of lower back pain. So you noted that you had an impairment with the anterior trunk musculature. I'm going to show you the best place to start to address that weakness. We're going to start with what we call a trunk curl up. This is a really simple drill. You're literally just laying down on your back. You're going to have one knee up, one down. The reason we do that is it keeps the lumbar spine in a more neutral position. And then to make sure that you're not rounding your back out excessively when you do this, which people have a tendency to do, you're going to put your hands in the small of your back. And you can, when you lay flat, you'll feel your hands just slide under there. Now, if you're not controlling that neutral lumbar spine correctly, when you come up like this, your lower back's going to flatten into your hands. That's what you want to avoid. So you're just in this position, tuck your chin, and you literally just curl up this far and then back down. This far and back down. The key with this, you know you're doing it right. If your lower back isn't rounding into your hands, pushing into your hands, and you're feeling these muscles work. You don't need to come way up here. It's not necessary, and it'll put a little bit too much load through the spine. So you don't need to do a full sit-up. You don't even need to come up to here to work the anterior trunk, the rectus abdominis. You only need to come up to about here and back down. Now, to progress this, once you get it down where you know you can come up and your lower back's not rounding, you can then put your hands here. You can put your hands back here for a little more lever, a little more load, longer lever arm. But the key is you're activating the rectus abdominis without putting excessive flexion through the lumbar spine. Now, I would start out with 6-4-2, just like the other drills. You do 6 reps, kind of regroup, 4 reps, regroup, 2 reps, so it's 12 total, and then you would switch sides. You put the leg that was up down and the leg that was down up, and do 6-4-2 again. That's where you want to start if you have some trunk flexor endurance impairments. So now you know exactly how to test your trunk musculature, and you know exactly how to address any impairments that you may have found. These are the exercises you start with. As you gain strength, as you improve your endurance, you improve your neuromuscular control, then you progress. This is where you want to start. You'll be amazed at how being consistent with these simple drills really, really helps reduce stress, strain, load through your spine, and helps you start to get back to being able to tolerate regular everyday tasks without lower back pain. For more ways to beat lower back pain permanently, check back here on the Crush Back Pain YouTube channel weekly. Go over to the Crush Back Pain website, crushbackpain.com. See some of the programs that we have over there. And also, if you have any questions, drop me a line. If these videos help you, leave me a thumbs up below. And just be consistent. That's the key, consistency. You need about 5 to 10 minutes a day, and that's it.